Whether you're just delving into the world of voiceover,
You're an established voice actor,
or you just want to listen to some unfiltered thoughts and opinions about the industry.
then this podcast is for you.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Jen, and this is the Off Air Podcast.
Hello.
Welcome to the what are we called? Off Air
it's the
Voiceover Podcast.
Yes, I did it that time. Once a month, Jen.
I
Once
genuinely forgot. I genuinely forgot.
cringe
That's
out the
really
way.
bad. Yeah, okay.
We have a very, very,
Super
very
excited.
special person joining us for some shits and giggles today. The one and only Kelly Condron. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. That's quite an impressive introction.
I feel like we
I might
need
start doing that when I
fanfare.
walk into the kitchen with the
Yeah.
kids. It's the one and only Kelly Condron to make the fish fingers.
They were like, great.
Thanks, Mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn your celebrity lights off, Mum. Stop it now. No one's listening. Like,
No one cares.
make
No
the fish
one
fingers,
gives a
please. I've said it before we started, but yeah, just I know you're a very busy bee, so I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to come and just have a chat with us. And I know we've spoken quite a lot in the past and stuff, and we're quite like-minded. So yeah, having you on was I was quite excited because yeah, there's loads of stuff to talk about. We've got quite a few
Yeah.
things to get into, and
Yeah, we don't know each other as well, but I am super excited to learn about everything Kelly.
I hope I don't disappoint them.
I know we have built you up now. Okay,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
Everyone's going to
pressure.
listen to it at the end and go, well, that wasn't great, was it?
no
Talk
pressure.
about an anticlimax.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, for those that might not know who you are, do you want to just
Oh,
give like a brief
God.
sort of this is me?
This is me. I am working class mum from Salford, got 2 kids, and somehow still to this day don't really know. Started acting when I was 13 professionally. Got and on TV, got quite a few good roles. Kept working and working and working. I think it was because I was just this cocky 13-year-old who thought she was mint, and it worked. And then went into Hollyoaks, did 6 years at Hollyoaks, and then I think it was as I'd left Hollyoaks, my first voiceover job. This is so random. Still to this day, I think they got me confused with someone else. Somebody Endemol approached my acting agent, right? I've never done voiceover before in my life at this point, and said, will she narrate a TV show? Yeah. So I went, my first ever job, I went to London for 3 weeks. They put me up in the Marriott in London for 3 weeks. They filmed a show. It was called Celebrity Scissorhands. They filmed the show in the day. I voiced it in the afternoon, and it went out either that night or the next night. And then
Holy
they did like a
shit.
live final where like they literally sent someone on motorbikes to get the tape there on time to go on air, which was like
No way.
amazing. But that was my first voiceover.
What were you like,
job,
20
completely
or something
spoiled.
then?
Yeah, I must have been about 21, 22,
Oh
maybe.
my God.
Completely spoiled. And then when I finished, they bought me a bottle of Cristal. And I'm like, what the fuck do
Well,
I do
that
with
wasn't
this?
your payment. That wasn't your payment, though. Was it?
That was like a well done for being mint. And I'm like, Crystal, like I've never drank something this expensive in my life. Yeah,
Wow.
and so from then
What a gig.
I I decided that I couldn't be arsed with acting anymore. I love acting. I adore the craft of acting. Not so keen on the industry at that
Yeah.
I was
point.
going to say, yeah. Is that what
Yeah.
you fell out of it because of the people
Yeah,
around
and
you?
I wanted kids, and I didn't want to do the two things together. That didn't feel like my route. I know people do, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just didn't feel
Yeah.
like something it would have worked for me. So I started coaching at a school, the Manchester School of Acting, and I've worked it out last night. I've been coaching there now for 18 years.
Have you?
And I still coach. I coach the youth students.
That's
on a
amazing, though.
Saturday.
Well done.
Yeah, and I love that. I adore working with actors and coaching people and helping people try and achieve what they want to achieve.
What age is that then you're working with?
The youth students are 13 to 18.
Wow. Oh, God, I bet they absolutely love you.
I will, yeah, because I've mentioned it before. I know. I can vouch that
tough
they do
but
because
fair. Like, you know, like, I think
We
you'd be
obviously-
honest with them.
yeah,
in my class,
Yeah.
obviously, there's no youth people, but yeah, your name gets mentioned with a lot of positivity.
that's it. That's
So,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm very honest because I think
Yeah.
if those
Yeah.
kids are there to be in the industry, then they need to know what the industry is like, and they need to be able to kind of live in that world. So we nurture, we look after, we care for, but we're very, very honest. And then
Yeah.
just voiceover. So I set up the acoustic window went into my studio just before lockdown. And that
Oh,
for
wow.
me was when it really kind of kicked off, and I went, okay, this is happening again now. So I'd done bits since doing the Endemol stuff, but this is kind of really happening. I'm a massive grafter. I don't ever switch off. I'm learning that not everyone's brain works like mine. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like going through both my children are autistic, and going through their diagnosis has made me go, oh, that's not how everyone's brain works.
Yeah.
Like what kind
Oh,
of thing? Just in terms of switching off, or
doesn't
what's the?
I do not switch off at
Yeah.
all. And then so like if I'm like cleaning the house, I won't complete one task. So I'll mean
Oh,
to.
yeah.
So like I'll
Yeah.
empty the dishwasher, and then I'll go, oh, I need to do the wash, and then oh,
That's what I'm
my
like. It drives
husband's like,
my
honestly,
husband
mate.
yeah,
mad.
it's exhausting.
Leaving cupboards open everywhere,
Yeah.
and like I'm just getting distracted so easily.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
So now it's just like I never stop with the voiceover, which is great, and that's all busy.
I've done a bit of like I've seen your posts on social media and I've done a bit of reading, but I've intentionally not gone too into it because I wanted to hear from you firsthand. The women.
Yeah. Oh my
Talk to me about
God.
this.
I can't. So there's not a lot. So I have wanted to write for a very, very long time, but always had an inferiority complex about I don't have a degree. I don't even have A levels. How can I write? And I started writing with a friend, and we came up with this pilot that was really good, but finding the time to write with somebody else was tricky. So I decided I'm just going to start writing, and then there was a Victoria Wood writing competition, so that was my deadline to try and
Ooh.
get me play ready for that. And so it started as a play, The Women, and it's about 4 women, working class women, around the age of 40, kind of going, the fuck, and questioning their life, and questioning their inherent desire or need to conform to society, and questioning that and going, do you know what? No. And kind of saying up yours to what society expects of these women. We had a teaser of it at an event in Manchester, and I was in it, right? So this is the first time I've been on stage. The last time I was on stage was when I was about 15, and we did the first act of the Diary of Anne Frank because the second
Oh,
act
wow.
wasn't ready. I don't know
Right.
how you do just the first act of the Diary of Anne Frank. Sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? But we did. And so I'm shitting myself because I've not been on stage for God knows how many. And then I'm like, this is the first time anyone's heard this play. Is it even funny? Um, and then about 2 minutes before I was about to go on, I looked at the audience, and I'm not lying, they were about 20 years younger than kind of the natural target audience of this play.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, we're going to fucking die.
Oh,
But I can't tell the actors that because they're all nervous, right? So I'm just going, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like my kid, our sister, our kid, my sister, my mum and dad, they'll laugh. Even if it's not funny, they'll laugh for me.
Yeah.
And anyway, we went on, and I'm not joking, it was unreal. Just just like mind blowing. And my husband Adam, he filmed it, and on
oh,
the
wow.
recording, it sounds like canned laughter. It just blew my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, just like really, really, really ridiculously well received. And then since then, a few industry people have had their eyes on it, and everyone's talking about how good the writing is and blah blah blah.
Oh,
Oh
my
wow.
goodness.
Yeah, which is amazing. So it's going to go into R&D, and we're going to do a viewing of it and hopefully get a full run of it. But obviously, because I don't stop, and yeah, I've done a pilot episode for a TV show, and I'm having meetings with
Oh,
production.
my goodness. I'm so
Holy
excited for
shit,
It
that's
you.
is
mad.
ridiculous. Like when it is mad. And but I can genuinely say the pilot episode is fucking men. It's brilliant, and I'm not being an idiot when I say that. I'm not showing off.
Yeah.
No,
It
fucking
really
own it.
is.
Absolutely own it.
It
Yeah.
it really is. And but then I do have the moments of go, did I write that? Like, and we're just starting now to develop other ideas that I've got, and I'm like a bit imposter syndrome's creeping back in because I'm like, how did you write them? Was that just a fluke? The women then? Can you write something else? And so
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Don't let it. I'm so
yeah,
excited for you. Do not let that crush it.
I
Yeah,
hate that feeling when you do something mint and then you think, shit, was that a fluke? Did I,
Yeah.
was that
yeah.
just was that
Yeah.
just one moment of greatness?
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
and
like,
then
and
that's
it's now
it.
it's fucked off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
thanks, Meg.
immense.
That's made me feel loads better.
Obviously, with you doing VO as like your primary thing, but now you're doing a lot of TV stuff. Has that bug come back to a point where you want to do like where's the balance? 50-50, more TV, less VO, etc. Like,
It's a really big question. I think voiceover will always be my main priority because I'm a massive control freak. And I
Mhm.
feel like with voiceover, I am in control. I can
Yeah.
choose which jobs I say
Yeah.
yes and no to. And of course, you know, you get jobs in that you want and you pitch for them and you don't get them. But with acting, I feel like there's this really kind of shitty, ugly side where you're waiting for someone to give you permission
Yeah.
to audition.
right,
It's not
Yeah.
even about getting the job. It's like, you know, my acting agent is wonderful. Shauna at Wintersons. They are just amazing, and very, very honest. And she's a few times said, I'm pushing for people
Mm.
to see you, but they won't see you.
Oh, it's so
And that's
tough.
and I
quite
can't
brutal, isn't it?
that I just to me then I just go, I don't want to play in your world then.
Yeah.
Even hearing you talk about this makes me feel stressed out because that's, I mean, well, you and I,
Sorry.
no, yeah. Thanks, Kelly.
That
Jen's
wasn't the
there breathing
plan.
into a
I know,
bag,
like, you and I are like miles apart in terms of acting, miles apart, different universes in terms of acting. But that's my experience. So as an actor, you're just desperately trying to get scraps. You
Yeah.
are like, you feel absolutely beholden to other people. Whereas voice acting, I feel like I'm in control.
Yeah.
I can get those jobs. If I work really hard and because I'm good, I can get those jobs. I didn't feel like that with acting at all.
Because I
Now,
don't think
I
it
don't
is
want to
like
do
that, is
it.
it?
No,
Yeah, I
but
don't think it is. I think it's so
is it
subjective,
changing
and
or is it still the same, do you reckon?
I think, uh, I think the industry's in a really tough time at the minute,
Yeah.
and I think because of that, less risks are being taken.
Yeah.
So I often get asked by actors, how do I get into voiceover? And I think they think that it's easy and that there's a shortcut, and I'm going to give them a magic answer, and all of a sudden tomorrow they're going to have 20 clients.
Can I have that as well then?
Yeah, I'll give it you after this.
Cheers. Put it in the
Actually,
chat.
I'm setting up a course.
Yeah.
I'm really not. And I think actor, the voice for me, the voiceover industry and the acting industry are very different.
Mhm.
And I always say, anyone that approaches me, what type of voiceover do you want? If they're an actor, I say, what type of voiceover do you want to be? Do you want to be a voiceover that just does it to get in a bit of money alongside your acting? Or do you want to be a full-time voiceover that gets their own clients and a lot of their own work and works with an agent as well? And I think you have to be really honest about what you want and how much time you've got to dedicate to it. Because I think a lot of actors actually just want that first one, which is fine. There's no right or wrong. But if you just want that first one, then you've got to be realistic with your time and your expectations. If you're just going to do that first one, you're not going to have a career like you guys have got. You're not going to have that amount of clients. You're not going to have those jobs unless you're out there hustling, unless you're out there learning, unless you're doing blah blah blah. And so I think that's the first thing that I would say to any actor that's looking into voiceover: be honest and realistic. This thing that I'm seeing at the minute is people promising people the earth and not being able to deliver. And I think it's just morally wrong. People setting up courses saying, I give me 200 quid and I'll get you in front of a casting director. That's
Yeah.
cruel.
Yeah.
That's preying on people really wanting it. It's a little bit like, and I'll probably, my agent will probably ring me in a minute and say, what have you said? But it's when casting directors set up these casting workshops and they charge money for people to go. I think that's morally wrong. I understand why an actor would pay
Yeah, I've looked at
100
them and
quid
thought, oh,
to
that
go and
seems
see a casting
interesting.
director, because you go and you think, if they just see what I can do,
Yeah.
they'll discover me. And I'm happy to pay £100 for that. So I understand it completely from the actors or voice actors' point of view.
Yeah.
From the person that's running that class, whose job it is to find new talent, I think that's morally wrong. And I know everyone has to pay the bills, but I think there've got to be better ways to pay your bills than doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. And there's people. There's one. I need to be careful how I put this, but there's one person in particular that's running voiceover classes, coaching, one-to-ones and classes. And this person not so long ago approached me asking about how to do voiceover. So maximum a year and a half ago, got in touch with me asking how to get
And
into
now they're offering
voiceover,
coaching.
and also just outright asked for my client list. They didn't want to put the work in, and now that person is offering coaching. So I think, and
who's paying them
probably
though? Like this is
Yeah, but you don't
people that
know, do you? You've no
people.
idea when you knew.
No, you don't. That's the
Or
thing.
even established.
And
It's really
yeah,
hard.
to find the right. So with my writing, okay, so the brilliant idea would be that I would send that to someone that I can trust, who
Mhm.
can script edit it for me, that can look at it and go, this isn't right, this isn't right. I haven't found that person yet,
Yeah.
because I'm like, if you're so good, why are you not doing it? And I've coached
yeah,
acting for 18 years, and I don't even know that I would feel comfortable doing private acting classes and charging people lots of money.
yeah.
Like,
I-
it's so hard. It's so hard, because I get that people have to diversify, people have to pay the bills, and they
Yeah.
might have something to offer people.
Yeah.
But again, I think some of these things that I'm seeing that are coming through about, well, you can be an actor in a weekend, or we'll teach you voiceover, and they don't have the qualification or just the experience,
Yeah. Because you
really.
can have amazing
Yeah.
voice actors and amazing actors, but they're shit teachers.
I think the other thing, if you're new to the industry, is understanding rates as well.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
you
very
could,
100%.
much.
you could get a job and you think, amazing, I've
Yeah.
got a job. It's like 200
Yeah.
quid and it's only going to
Yeah.
be an hour of my time. And then
Yeah.
actually
And it's
that
going on
200 quid
TV.
job could be like 6 grand or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could really, and the usage isn't dependent on your experience. The money that
No.
someone pays to use your audio isn't dependent on experience. It's dependent on they like your sound and they want to use it for their brand.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think
It's a good
educating
definition.
yourself on rates it is probably quite a good one. And I get that somebody new into it might have a lower studio fee, or
Yeah.
there's room for negotiations for certain, but yeah, don't just go and do. I get it, it's hard, isn't it? 200 quid fucking that pays your bills, doesn't it? It
It's
goes
yeah.
up
Especially if
a
you're earning
lot
minimum
of money.
wage.
Yeah,
That seems
it's
You
like, you know,
you
that's
can't.
yeah.
The thing is, you can't even compare it. Like if you're doing a job where you're getting paid, what's minimum wage now? About 12 quid. So even
something like that, yeah.
if you're getting that, or maybe just something slightly over, and you're doing a bit of manual labour, working a 7-8 hour day, and at the end of it you come out with like 75 quid, right? All the hours that have gone into that, the tiredness, the exhaustion that comes with it, and somebody goes, "Here, there's 150 quid just for half an hour's work." I mean, that's
Yeah.
mind fucking
Yeah.
blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so you can understand why some people new into it will just like, yeah, of course. But it's kind of
Yeah.
like you said, it's you actually could get maybe 10 times that amount.
Yeah.
So just don't allow yourself to get
And
exploited.
again, go
It's
back to those people that are offering that job know it's worth 10 times.
Yeah, the
right,
cheeky fuckers.
exactly.
They're the
Yeah.
I've said
shysters, aren't
They're
they?
the
They're the
shysters,
yeah.
dealing with the money side of it, like
Oh,
quoting
it's
people,
awful,
the
isn't it?
worst part.
I
Yeah,
really struggle with it. Well,
I
Yeah,
you know I
do.
same.
struggle with it because quite often you'll get a voice note from me,
Yeah.
Michael. I did it
Yeah.
with my mate Scott as well, and he's like, mate, this is just getting ridiculous now.
I love that when you get a call from the radio station, like, yeah, I'd love to do a job, and you don't really know what it is, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just a,
27.50,
Yeah.
brilliant.
okay, that
Yeah.
30 quid is really going to help out.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like with Bauer though. Like I did a spot with Bauer yesterday. I love working with them. Like they're
Yeah.
just
They're a great
short, quick,
team. They're a great,
simple.
Yeah.
and all the
And
producers that you
it's
work with
like
have
6
never
minutes
complained.
or something you're actually on.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
it's done.
It's
Yeah,
just
I think,
instant rapport with them. Straight. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
working with
a
them.
good bunch.
and occasionally you get those big ones in. I've had a couple of those
Yeah.
big
And it's
ones.
such a nice surprise.
Speaking of
Big one.
George,
Yes.
he's so well. Two.
You cut my line out there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
because you went
that'll
to
be deleted.
children. That
Yeah.
went weird.
What was your line? I missed it. What did you say? What did
I
you
just said, speaking of big ones, because
That's for the other podcasts.
Yeah.
That's for the outtakes. Speaking of big ones, so Josh, I'm dying here right now.
Oh dear.
How amazing that you've got your son involved in VO, and he's been nominated for
Yeah, it's
blinking
been
One Voice,
shortlisted.
hasn't he?
That's
Yeah,
so
which
cool.
it is amazing. Yeah, George is 13. He's been doing voiceover for maybe 3 years, and he was picked up when he first started by Soho Voices. So
Oh,
before I
yeah,
was even
Soho.
with them, they picked him up, and I was like, "You've got a better agent than me." So he's been doing it for a couple of years now, and he is because he doesn't want to act.
Right.
He has no interest in it whatsoever into acting, and he's 13 now. So he's just like, "I'll do a voiceover job. How much is it?" That's where his
Yeah.
level is. It's all about I can sit down, say some words, and get some money. Is where his head's at. So because of that, he just sounds like a normal boy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what people are booking him for, just this
Yeah.
normal lad, and that's a really tricky find, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been nominated and shortlisted for a One Voice Award. So
That's
when I
wicked.
told him, he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he got more excited than I thought he would actually. And then he
Aw.
was like, "I won't get it though, will I?" And I was like, "Well, you've got 1 in 7 chance of getting it." And he was like, "But I won't though, will I?" And he was like, "Can I come?" And I'm like, "No, I just think it's adults," because I thought I'm
Yes, this is my night off.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I'm not sure it is 13-year-old appropriate
It's not,
though.
no. And he wouldn't enjoy it. It would just be
No.
far too overwhelming for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been shortlisted. But then Matilda, my
Amazing.
daughter, who's 8, she started doing it in the past 6 months, and oh my God, she's good.
Is
Like,
she?
oh my God, the girl, she's just got such a natural. I'll send you a demo. She's just got such a natural instinct for it, like ridiculously. So
I hate her a little bit. Is that
oh,
wrong?
mate, I hate her a little bit. She's better than me. She comes up with stuff, and I go, "What?
But is it
What?"
like
Amazing.
is it
Yeah.
that sort of organic, just natural read? There's no not
Yeah.
much of a perform, right? Because
No,
I
all
I
just
think a lot
really,
of it's
really, really natural, but then understanding of tone and style
cadence and
and
everything.
pacing, and it just like
Oh, wow.
ridiculous.
Wow. Good on
So
her. That's
I
amazing.
sent her reel to Soho saying, "Do you want this or shall I go somewhere else?" And they were like, by this time I'm repped by them, and they're like, "No, we'll take it." And then I think it was last week, it all got very exciting because the 3 of us have booked a video game.
That's
That's so
I
cool.
know, right? The
no
first
way.
family that Soho Voices have had all booked on the same job, and we've booked a video game, which
Are
is
you
mega.
playing a family on the video game or just individual characters on it?
I'm not 100%
Oh,
sure
right.
yet. I
Okay. Yeah.
think I'm not 100%
That's
sure
so
yet.
cool.
Yeah, really
That's well
cool.
good.
So I
Well
just
Have you?
want
done.
I just want a supermarket now. So if there's any supermarkets listening and you need a brand family voice, I'm there for it.
That's
I'm
just
having it.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you post about this on social media, tag all the ones you want to work
So I
with.
got supermarkets.
Co-op, yeah, it's fine.
Be honest though, it's well exciting when you hear yourself on radio or TV, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Never gets
I
old.
really get excited when
Yeah.
I'm like, even my husband, Kel, it was at Hollyoaks time, and he was like, "Kel, you're on the telly nearly every day, and you're getting excited about a radio ad." I'm like, "I know, but I'm on the radio."
And it's a surprise, I think. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's me. It's me. I kind of want to be around more people when it happens. So I can be like, it's me.
Well,
It's
I
not
do it
happened
in
much
the
yet.
car, and I'll hear it,
Ah.
and I'll turn it up, and I'll say to her, "Look, it's mum, it's
Yeah.
mum," and she's like, "And I'm not off."
It's so weird. Like it. I totally agree. Like the amount of times, like you've recorded the advert, you've heard it a million times, and I'll have the radio on in the background, and hear me like, shut up. Oh, it's so weird, but you just
dear.
it never ever gets old ever. I think I do a lot more radio than I do TV commercials, but I think for me when I hear a TV commercial, that for me is like
Yeah.
the pinnacle. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm on TV. I love it. But I did an advert for Vinted. I recorded it in November. It came out in January. Still never saw it. And I got messages from people, you're on again. It was on prime time as well. So around about somewhere between 7 and 9 p.m. Never saw it once. But I wasn't that bothered because I remember when I did the session, I was like, oh, God, this just doesn't sound great, does it? Anyway, then Gabs sent me a video when it was on. She goes, oh, I managed to catch it. And she played it to me and I listened to it. I was like, not sure I want to share that one. You know?
You've shared it, haven't you?
No, still not properly seen it.
No,
I
I
just
thought
got
you
the
shared it
video.
on your
No. So I still never properly seen it. It was a little bit of an anticlimax because it's a massive brand. It's great you could a TV spot like that, but I just remember that the energy and the vibe they were going for. I just felt that the music and the vibe in the video, should I say? I just felt the VO didn't quite match it, and I was
I
trying
felt
to
the same,
bring it
but
up a
you
bit.
have to just tell yourself that's
The
what they
client's
wanted.
always right. That's
They are
Yeah.
always right, and if they're happy, then
Yeah.
you did what they wanted, and you did a
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
job.
I know.
Same though, and you're like, really? You want me to go with this tone with that music? Okay.
Or it's the
Um,
flip side of that. So quite often I'll go to a session and I'll read the script and they'll go, "That was perfect. That's brilliant. Thanks." And I'll go, "Whoa, you need another version at least."
yeah,
Yeah.
please
Whoa,
let me give
whoa.
you one
Not
more
just
read.
yeah, even if it's just a safety read.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
but you can feel like the energy of everyone's just questioning it. Did we? That was perfect. Did
Yeah.
we just? And quite often in a session, they've gone, "We've booked you for the hour," and I've gone, "Yeah. Can you do this?" And I did one I was doing a voiceover for studio.co.uk, and I was doing all their stuff, and we'd done the stuff, and they'd booked me for the hour, and they were like, "Actually, just so we've got some stuff in the bank, can you do from just £3?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I can. From just £3." And they were like, "Can we keep going?" And it was like, "Just £4." And we got to like, just £399. And it was like, I honestly felt like Ant and Dec were going to come out,
Oh
and
my
like it was some
God.
sort of setup because they were just using the time to bank these from just £199.
Wow.
And then
That's quite
when
unusual, I
words
reckon.
don't sound like words.
Yes.
It was
Yeah, it's
just
just
like,
noise, isn't it?
what
Yeah.
is going on?
Have you got a line as to what you won't do in terms of like certain types of jobs? I mean, like most people sort of go on the political side
Porn.
of things or religion.
Like,
Porn.
Yeah. I'm joking.
I got asked
You
to do
will
that
do
once, you
porn.
know.
No,
I got asked to do it once.
Hashtag OnlyFans. No.
Yeah.
We'll share it in the show notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't tend to do gambling.
Yeah,
Okay.
A
I'm not
bingo,
keen.
slightly different, I think, because they're usually aimed more at having a good night out. But I don't tend to do gambling stuff.
When you see the documentaries about gambling, you just think, God, I shouldn't be
Frightening, isn't it?
promoting
Yeah.
this. It's
And there
just
was one actually, well before Rishi was Prime Minister, there was a company that approached me and they wanted to do a video just slating him basically. And it was like Dishy Rishi and all his millions and stuff. And I was like, I am all for this, but I fucking can't do it, mate. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah,
Like at the
right.
time I was in Hollyoaks, I was like, it's not gonna get past them. But I 100% agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Crack on. But it was too
Okay.
political. And I think that's the thing to say as well. A lot of the voiceovers that I do are really big and really exciting and all of those things that we want to do. But a lot of them are just day-to-day jobs.
Yeah.
So I do quite a lot of like telephone lines through a
Yeah.
company. And one of them was for turkey tea.
Turkey
And obviously,
tea.
he didn't sell it like turkey tea. Yeah, so like a dentistry, but in Turkey. So people go
Oh,
out to get turkey tea, don't they?
right. Sorry.
So it was about, and we'll look after you, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what if people like are going and having terrible turkey tea?
Yeah.
And I had a little wobble. Well,
You overthink it. You definitely
you
overthink
really
it.
do. You really,
Yeah.
really
Massively. It's
do.
like, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're just paid to just promote a service, which is like, it's not your
And even
fault
that
if
was
it goes
phone
wrong.
lines. Like they're only
Yeah, the
ringing up if
amount
they're
of
going for
people,
their
yeah, they've
turkey
already
tea.
engaged, aren't they?
God.
I thought that was the name of a company. I was like, what? And I thought it said Turkey Tea. I was like, what is Turkey Tea? This is a big brand that I'm missing.
Sorry, I will get better with my pronunciation,
No,
Jen.
it's a Turkey Tea.
I'll
That
use my
wasn't a
posh
phrase.
voice.
Yeah, use your posh voice when you're talking to me, please, Kelly.
My mum says that it was my posh voice when she hears me done Elmads because I do the brand. I'm the brand voice
Yeah.
now, which I've done for about 4 or 5 years now.
I love hearing that though, because
Oh,
it
God
feels
bless you.
like I love hearing people that I know and be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
Kelly or whatever. I just love it. It's really
But my
nice.
mum says, "You done Elmad was on," and I say, "Was it?" She goes, "Yeah, it was your posh voice."
Is she annoyed with you for putting on a posh voice for that?
I don't think so.
Do you know
No,
you're doing it?
I don't think it is a posh voice.
No.
It's just not. I think it's more my natural sound now. And then I
Yeah.
think, so I just did one that before I came on here that I had to mank up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I find that slightly more difficult to to really mank up because I find actually that people say they want Manchester, but actually when they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I get labelled as a posh mank. So when I get asked to dial it up, I do find it's almost really quite forced. It doesn't sound natural. Like I said, I always make the joke of like, how mank do you want? Do you want my natural style, or do you want to go full Liam Gallagher? Like, there's where
there's
on
a
the
scale.
spectrum? Yeah. But if I try and really dial up, it sounds like I'm taking the piss out of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what I mean? It's like I don't talk like that. So just I bang on about all the time, but this is totally genuine gratitude. Everyone that continues to download and listen, we are eternally grateful. Just please be mindful, if you can, just to remember to share it if you enjoyed the episode, and just give us a little follow if you want to. No pressure.
No
That was
pressure,
Very good at
the
this.
worst selling ever. But you're a
Yeah, but I don't like
voiceover. Come on, Michael, you can do better than that.
I don't
We'll
like telling
direct
people
you
what
after
to do.
this.
This
Yeah.
has been really good, though.
I've loved it. I told you.
Yeah.
I said to Jenny, I'll tell you what, Kelly, if she can come on, I said she will get it. It'll be good. So yeah,
I
knew
think
I
it's
was
amazing.
right
brilliant.
once
I think
again.
it's an absolutely fantastic podcast, and it's so valuable to those starting out and those already in the industry. So make sure you are liking and subscribing, because
Thanks,
there's
Kelly,
lots
you're
of
better at this.
exciting, useful, brilliant information there for you.
Cheers. Appreciate
Amazing.
that. Thank you very much.
That's how you do it,
okay.
Michael.
Until next episode.
That is how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Yeah.
That is how you do it.
And I'm going to leave my shitty bit in so that people can compare and go, you see, that's how the pros do it.
Right, I'll speak to you both soon then.
Okay.
Jen's
Thanks
like
very
putting
much.
the phone down.
Yeah. Have a fantastic rest of your week, folks. And we will see you on the next episode. Thanks very much, folks.
Bye.
Take care, bye.